Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome to Rest, the podcast dedicated to supporting and uplifting moms on their journey through motherhood. I am your host, Agatha, and this week we'll explore the joys and challenges and everything in between that comes with motherhood. Whether you're a new mama navigating sleepless nights or a seasoned mama like myself, juggling work, family, and everything in between, this podcast is for you. Here at Rest Mama, we believe in the power of community, self care, and finding balance amidst this beautiful chaos that we call motherhood. So, join me as I share stories, tips, expert advice, but most importantly, a little bit of rest and relaxation for all our amazing moms out there. So, grab y'all something to drink. Y'all, I got my water slash, I be mixing everything in this cup. I think it's like half water, half lemonade. If it's late at night, you know what I'm saying, grab you something to drink. If it's early in the morning, you're listening, watching this, grab you a cup of coffee and let's get this episode today started. Today, I'm going to talk about seasonal depression and what that means for me. This is not in my list of episodes, but I feel like it's important because it is that time of year for me. And I always recognize it and bring truth to it, and I speak against it. And I want to kind of discuss that today and what that means. Y'all know I am late when it comes to a lot of things. Life has been lifing, but it hasn't been lifing in the way that I'm busy and I'm keeping myself accountable and I'm literally gathering myself together at the neck of my collar to say, you need to stop. Like it's time out for it. Um, you know, with Rest Mama, of course, you know that this is a nonprofit organization. Congratulations. It has been registered with the state of Georgia. I'm so happy. I'm so excited about that. Yay! We are working on the 501c3 application and moving forward with that. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it and where we are with the phases. Y'all have got to know and understand this is a one-man show. It's just me. Um, right now, I don't have any board members. I don't have any people that I'm partnering with. I tried to get people to come in on it with me, but just a lot of people got life going on for themselves. And so I figured this is your purpose. This is what God told you to do, Agatha. So you have to complete it and do it. But y'all know that Rest Mama is a nonprofit organization. It is going to be where there's going to be community. There's going to be advice. There's going to be a place where we all travel together. There's going to be a place where we love on each other. There's going to be a place where we come together and we break bread with one another. There's going to be a place where you can get pieces, curated actual pieces of jewelry that I hope you push through to give you a reminder every day of the reasoning why you are a bomb ass mama. And everything that you do is not in vain. Everything that you do has a purpose, and it's beneficial for you and your children and their children moving forward, your family, things of that nature. Just a little housekeeping. If y'all have not checked out the website, please go and check out the website, restmamainc.org. The link is here. You guys just visit it. Look at the pages, read the blogs, things of that nature. There is a collection that's going to be launching very soon. The actual organization is going to launch in November. But there is a collection that's going to be launched, and we kind of have what we're we're going to be presenting in our Rest Mama collection. Do know that proceeds for the Rest Mama collection is going to go back into Rest Mama organization. Every piece that you buy is going to be a purpose for a particular mama. So when you purchase a piece, that money is going to be given to a merch deserving mama. It's not going to be a lottery for you to do it. If I run across somebody that needs it, here it is. And I'll kind of talk about my instance of running into somebody just the other day and how proceeds that come from when people purchase my books, for now, that that money goes into helping a mom that I see that's in need. I don't fulfill to see like, oh, you got to apply to get this scholarship, or you got to apply to get this grant, or this, that, and the third, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not, and every mama deserves to have whatever they need. And if it does become to a point where people are just saying, I need, I'm going to make damn sure well that they get it. Whether it's $20 here or $5,000 there, I want to make sure that when, things are needed, that it is needed, and the only way that you can do it is by donating, by purchasing. I would rather you purchase the items versus than donations right now, because donations come from any and everybody, y'all. People sow into me all the time. So when they sow into me, I take that money and I sow it back into Rest Mom. I've always been doing it, but now it has a place. So y'all check out Rest Mama Inc. We have a blog on there. We also have a travel section where you can go in and book travel if you want to take a trip. Like literally, like it's on platform. You pull up and you can put in flights, hotels, cars, things of that nature. If you need to go just in deep, a little bit more deep into, planning a vacation for your family overseas and things of that nature, hit that contact button. And not, I have somebody that be able to assist in helping you get those vacations planned. Because all the mamas are out here, we're trying to find resources and cheap deals. I got 3 kids, and every time I look at flights, it costs about $1,400 just for the flight. I ain't even talk about hotel. Um, so, that's there. And then, like I said, take a look. You can purchase the books online, but please, please, please do not hit purchase for the jewelry. It's just there to show you what we're going to be offering. I do have to take pictures of the product, but also as well, I just have to make sure that my inventory comes in because they are working on it. These pieces are actually curated and they're made. They're not already mass produced. Um, Everything that I've done, I've curated and I've created and I've designed myself, and they have to literally make the items. So do not press. The only thing that I think that you can go ahead and buy are the rings because they are customizable. They are birthstone rings for your children, for yourself, for your nieces, your nephews, whatever the case may be. I actually am wearing one now, not this one, but it's this one. And it's holding up very well. The band and everything like that is holding up too. So definitely, definitely, definitely go look at the website, purchase it. Look at the website and everything like that. Of course, I have my cookbooks on there that you can actually purchase, but I also have my new two most recent books, 7,000 Miles. This is the testament to the abdominal power of perseverance. This goes from birth up until my life today. It talks about things, challenges that I experienced as a child, as well as through my marriage, and it talks about how I pushed through and where at the end Rest Mama was birthed and born and how I get through a lot of things in my life. And then the 1 day journal. This is a 30 days of motivation, a journey for success, self-discovery, and growth. I actually created this for myself. I was sick and tired of giving my money to other companies, and I was like, let me just create my own stuff. And so I am working on a part 2 to make it bigger, make it 60 days. Part 2 to the journal. I just got a lot of projects and a lot of things going on, y'all. But this one, I love this journal. This is my 3rd book. But it gives you my daily task prompts where you can write your goals down. And then on the other page, it literally asks you like how you're feeling, what your mood is, because that's what I ask myself every morning. And then there's a note section where you can kind of journal, things of that nature. The next one that I do create is going to give just a little bit more journal space. But this is what I needed and created for my own self, because these are the things that I write down on a regular piece of paper. Y'all, I have to-do list everywhere. I love to journal. I love to write down. I feel like if I write it down, I'm going to remember it better. Remember, my kids always say remember when they were little. But and so I was like, let me just create this, make it cute, make it, whatever the case may be. And then I thought, let's just offer it to everybody. But definitely proceeds, even of this, 50% of the proceeds from my book and the journal will go back into Rest Mama. And then 100% of the proceeds of the jewelry that you guys buy goes back into Rest Mama as well. So today, definitely we're going to talk about seasonal depression. Is that time of the year for me? Baby, when I tell you, I I'm gonna explain about seasonal depression and what it is for me. It comes around in a season, and it's particularly around this time of the year. And it's the most craziest thing because this time of the year is my favorite time of the year. I love fall. I love everything that has fall activities. You got Halloween, you got my birthday, you got Thanksgiving, you have Christmas. This is the season for me. I love this time of the year. Majority of my children are born this time of the year. We always are born at the end of at the second half of the year, starting with Soraya in August, and then it's me, Cam, and then Carter. A lot of things also happen this time of the year, and this is where the most traumatic things happen to me this time of the year. I'm like, who downstairs? But you know how Netflix do. The most traumatic things happen this time of the year for me too as well. And so that's where the seasonal depression has always happened around this time. Anything that I've ever experienced in life has happened this time of the year. From my grandmother, my grandfather passing, when my grandmother got sick, one of my grandmothers got sick, to just a lot of things, Um, and so I remember my therapist was telling me, you have what, I don't know if there's a particular name for it, but I have what is called like a time stamp type of depression. Like I can remember dates and times, and then I think about, oh, this is what happened this day. It's almost like an anniversary of some trauma that I have. And she was like, that's what you have. And so she literally helped me when I, was, talking to her back when. She helped me, kind of process that, like not forget about those things, like not overpass those things and things of that nature, but really know how to walk through those triggers because every year is going to come around. It's going to be the same thing. It's not going to change. It's not going to be a different month, a new month that's created. It's not going to be a new date that's created. When September the 21st come around and it's something that happened on that day, September the 21st, that's what you're going to remember. Always triggered. I was triggered about a lot of things in my marriage during this time of year. I was triggered about a lot of things of even in dating during this time of year. It's just a lot. And so how do I get through my seasonal depression? I've been working on it. A few years back, it was very bad. I would literally shut down. One of my friends said, "Ain't it time for you to take your break?" Because they know it's the craziest thing. Like, you take your sabbatical around this time. And when I say sabbatical, literally, I'm coming off of social media completely. My phone, I'm not answering my phone, not answering my calls. Sometimes the blinds are closed in the house. It gets really bad. And when I was going through therapy, she said, "You got to stop doing that. Like, why would you put your life on hold for 6 months out the year because of one traumatic experience? Like, you really need to know how to walk through those things so you can heal from those things and get through those things." Not to say that those triggers are going to not come back, but when they do, you know how to operate and move forward with those triggers, right? Then I think I talked about this through my mental health episode, but just kind of reiterating what it is, because yesterday was the first day of fall. It was hot. It's crazy though. Like, how is it gonna be the first day of fall, Georgia, and it's 95 degrees outside? Like, that is wild to me. But like I said, I love, 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 love this time of year, but it also brings on a ton of seasonal depression. Imposter syndrome definitely is one of the biggest things. I talk about this a lot, and I have to talk about it in order to get through it. And it affects my productivity when it comes to a lot of things. Be it this podcast. I know I'm like 3 months behind at this point. I feel like I am, but that imposter syndrome kicks in. I saw something the other day on one of somebody that I follow on Instagram, and how they made a whole think piece about why they are not on social media, and people have been asking like, "Were you? Are you okay?" And I get that, because I do get those questions sometimes when I kind of go off, and sometimes you do, even though people say don't let social media be the highlight. But at this point, this is the world that we live in. I hate when people say disregard social media, because no, social media is what it is. It definitely is. The internet has blossomed into the most beautiful thing, and people take it and turn it into the worst thing, right? It Free advertising for businesses. You can advertise your business on social media, and you ain't got to pay a dime. You just got to continue to post. You got to continue to be creative. You got to continue to post content, and you literally can get your business out there for free. It's also a way to stay connected with people all over the world. I love watching TikTok. When I tell y'all, like, it is some funny people out there, and I feel most connected with a lot of these people. They can't take that stuff away from us, because if they did, we would never know. Like, when the Book of Faces came about, it was only about the people who you knew. When it came out, when I was around, the first time it came out, it was only available for college students. And you actually had to have a college email address in order to get a Book of Faces account. And then it moved forward to where it was your own friends, and it was kind of almost like the space platform that was out at that point in time. But then the IG came around, and now you're being able to be connected with a lot more people, strangers, celebrities, and things of that nature. And that's all you followed was celebrities or people that had influence or things of that nature. You really didn't follow like regular everyday people. But then when they came out with the Talk app, it was like you really connect with people. Like, I be watching that, and I just say, dang, I'm complaining about how my house look, but they don't even care. It's like you connecting with actual people, the reality of the world. And so, but sometimes that can like breed resentment, and you can covet people's lives, and you look to say, oh, they're doing these. You look at their numbers, and you see people going viral for just simple things. And especially someone who has been doing this ever since social media came about. Like, I feel like I'm a millennial, and I came out, I mean, I was alive and well, and a whole almost dang near adult when it came out. And so just to know that you've been on it for so long, and things that you do just don't pop the way that other people do, you get an uncertainty about yourself and you kind of doubt yourself, and that imposter syndrome kicks in. And when I seen that post on that particular person's post, I was like, that's how I've been feeling. Like sometimes I'd be like, I'm just gonna come off of this, I'm deleting all of it. But then it doesn't benefit me deleting everything off of it if I'm trying to push out an organization so moms can know that this is out here. That's kind of like I tell my friends, they say, oh, I want to find my husband, but you staying at home every day. Like, how you gonna find you, sis? Unless he unless he worked for FedEx, UPS, DHL, or USPS. That's the only way you gonna find your husband, baby, because that's the only people that gonna come to your door. Any other time, see, thumbs up. I don't know why that phone do that. Every time I put my thumb up, it always gives me that, but it always come at the right time. But I tell myself, well, you can't do that. You're at the top of what you're trying to do to push your organization, to push your collection, to push the things that you're trying to promote, things of that nature. So you just really can't come off of it. But during this time of the year, I normally do. I go ghost. My birthday is coming up and it's always my new year. I don't celebrate New Year's January the 1st. I celebrate my new year on my birthday. So every year you'll see me say Happy New Year to myself because I've already went around the earth, circle around this earth, this sun 365 days. Like I was born on November the 6th. So November the 6th is always my restart to my new year. And I've always taken a break to kind of reflect and things of that nature of what I had going on prior to that. But sometimes it is more so in a depressive state. So seasonal depression will kick in. I try to keep myself busy with my kids during this time of year. So I do just activities like the month of October is already planned for family outings, things of that nature that we got going on. And then it's my birthday. And of course, I have the lunch of Rest Mama. But then after that comes the holiday season, what the plans are for that, things of that nature. So I try to keep myself busy so I won't, but I do recognize that also during that time of year, it's definitely, especially in the month of November, it's one of the biggest traumatic months of my life. I experienced my divorce. I got married in that month, and then I got separated in that month. I lost a child in that month. Just even sitting thinking about it, that it's only a couple of months away. And like I said, my therapist said that I am more based on dates. Um, my trauma and triggers, my depression is stemmed from dates that I remember things happening to me. And so I'm trying not to focus on that too much. But I love the beauty in what, this organization is doing, this company is doing, is because when I go out into the world, I'm always running into somebody that's experiencing the same thing. Quick little story. I went into the store maybe about a couple of weeks ago, and I was going to the seafood counter because I'm a pescatarian. Got to get my weekly what I'm gonna eat for the week, and there's this little girl standing there. She was so excited. She was hyped. She was dancing about getting her piece of salmon, baby, because it was her birthday and she was going to have some salmon and some cabbage and some macaroni cheese. And it was so crazy because I was getting went in the grocery store. I was like, what am I eating today? And when she told me that, I was like, yep, that's what I'm eating today. I was, we were talking. I was like, do you like red cabbage? Or I was like, do you like purple cabbage or green cabbage? She was like, green cabbage. What do you mean? And she was all but 4, 5 years old. She was so little, but she just had this tenacity and she was so excited. And I kind of think about when it is my birthday and how excited I am. I love celebrating birthdays. If you follow me, you see I do the most for my kids when it comes to birthdays. But she was just so excited, and I just saw the mom, and the mom just, she didn't, I don't want to say what she was because I want to give her the opportunity. I do think I'm going to invite her on and we're going to have, just to talk. But and I could talk about this because she did post it on her Instagram page. But I just looking at the mom and I'm all like, look at that mama. You know what I'm saying? It don't even look like she didn't want to come out the house. She wanted to be in her bed, sleep, probably rest up for the week. She had a long week ahead of her, things of that nature. She didn't look out of place, but I just kind of sensed it in my spirit, right? And so when they left, I got a check of discernment in my spirit and basically said, go find them and buy the little girl a cake. Go ask them if she has a cake. And even if she did have a cake, I was gonna be like, well, what else do you want? So basically that's what it says. It's like go and see what else do they need. So I went and I found them. Because the lady at the seafood counter was taking forever. And I'm like, girl, if you don't hurry up with it, I'm only getting 2 pieces and some shrimp. Like, come on, God, dog, it's taking so long. Uh, Side note, I seen some post on Facebook the other day said, y'all gotta take the grandmamas out the lines during rush hour because, baby, they be moving at their own pace, but that's neither here nor there. I just thought that was funny and I should say that. So I found him in the store and I looked and I found her and I said, "Hey, do you have a birthday cake?" And she says, "No." I was like, "Let's go get you a birthday cake." And she was like, "Any cake?" And I was like, "Any cake. I don't care what it costs. Let's go get it." And so I went and she picked out her cake and she was like, "Now I need some decorations. I need some balloons. I need a candle." And I was like, "Well, you finna get it. Like, you finna get it." And so I had to finish up shopping because I had to go somewhere else. And I was like, "Here, mama, yes, like you got an iPhone. You know, the iPhone new feature, you could just put money, you can say whatever amount, you just tap it and it sends them, right?" So I was like, "Here, here." I said, "Here, mama, get it. Whatever y'all need, well, it's on me today. I'll just purchase it or whatever." So I gave her some money to get the cake and some decorations, pay for the piece of salmon, whatever the case may be, whatever. And I walked away. And she texted me later that day and she said, "Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate you." Da, 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 da. And she was like, "Here's my Instagram page." And when I went to her Instagram page, I was like, there's no way that I literally ran into a person like this. Something that I had been praying for this organization, something that I have been asking God to help me with, because I had reached out to a few people that I know do this, that I know owe me favors, and they told me no, just flat out no. It was a hard no too. It wasn't no explanation as to reason and why they couldn't do it. It was like no. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, I showed up for you. I was there for you. You actually owe me. But okay. And I had just been praying and I remember crying because my feelings hurt when that particular person said that to me. Because it hurt my feelings because I was always there for them and they just told me a hard no. And I was just like, wow. And so I remember praying and asking Lord, and I thank God that I was obedient to listening to what he told me to do about going to him and get the cake, because I would have never been able to know that this woman, this amazing, phenomenal woman, that I am going to have the pleasure of speaking with very soon, does what I've been praying about. And she was on her way to a conference that she actually designed and worked, and big conference too. And I was just like, what? Still didn't ask no questions, but I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, trying to play it cool. And the other day, she posted something on her Instagram page. She said she was back and she posted something. She said she had seen a video and it reminded her of the situation that we were in the store. She said she just broke down in tears and she tagged me in it. It was a sweet message. And I messaged her back and forth. And I was like, girl, you don't understand how I was thankful that I was being obedient to what I was told to do, because I've ran into someone who was phenomenal, of who I just to even know that I had that resource out there, even if it wasn't for me, if it was for somebody else, to know that I ran into a person that does these things on a big scale caliber. Um, and me not having any judgment, me not, saying like, "Oh, she was like," any of that. And she's just phenomenal. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to bring her on and we can kind of talk about a few things, maybe in the future. But just I say that to say, just me being intentional and me being dedicated to this, like there is a reasoning behind what breast mama is and what it's supposed to be. Um, but also the fact that I know I talk about this in my mental health episode is the fact that you have to push through the bullshit. Like you have to know that things that you are purposed to do, and I'm gonna get into this piece. You are purposed to do is the reasoning behind it. I recently went to Rich Homie Quan's memorial. I am a rap girly. I love rap music. People say, "How do you listen to that stuff?" It ain't about listening to the. I look at the genius behind it. It takes a lot for a person to get into a booth, listen to music, and write words. If y'all ain't never had a struggle in writing an essay in middle school, high school, like I did, just to think about somebody writing a song and hoping that it's a hit, and many, 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 many songs that they've written sometimes don't even make it to our ears, or the wavelengths, the radio wavelength. But I was definitely a fan of his. I love his story. If you ever had a chance, definitely go and hear about his story. Hopefully they make some sort of documentary about his life and things of that nature, because it needs to be told. But he was destined to be a baseball player. That's what he grew up being. That's what he grew up doing, things of that nature. They even talked about his memorial. Like that was the set. Like that was the way that he was gonna get out the mud. And he had a come to me moment and said, no, this is not what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be making music. I'm supposed to rap. Now, he was already musically inclined. He knew how to play some instruments. He was in the band, things of that nature. And the reason why I say I love rap music, because I love music in general. I grew up with a great grandmother who had a juke joint, and every night I heard music blasting from her business. My grandfather always had music playing in the background. We had records like actual vinyl records playing. My grandmother, she was in church a lot, so it was always around gospel music. Grew up, I was in a gospel traveling choir. I played in the band. I could play just about every wind instrument there is. Also, I was on the percussion team and things of that nature. So I've always grew up around music. Like music has always been my life. I'm from Mississippi, so and even when I was married to my ex-husband and we always visited his mom, she sung. So when she had somewhere to go, we was all going. Baby, we traveled so much to so many funerals because she had to sing about 5 funerals a day. It was crazy. But I just literally, when I tell you, I grew up around it and I love it. And music is my life. It just is my life. And my genre is rap. And then I'll listen to any other. I don't have my favorite is rap, but I listen to all types of music. And so I've always been a fan of his. When he came on the scene, even before he hit mainstream, I listened to, mixtapes that he was on and stuff like that. So, just to know his story and kind of see him grow up to where he is. And just recently, before he even passed, like watching podcasts and interviews and things of that nature, and the things that he was saying and stuff like that, really touched my heart. But I'm saying all this to say I went to the memorial service and he probably had over, and I may be exaggerating here, but it felt like over 1,000 plus family members. Like when I tell you the procession was almost 30 minutes, they had to make us sit down because it was so many people that was in the processional to walk down when the services started and the family walks in. It was so many people. The line did not stop. They filled up the bottom portion of the church because well Changes is a big church, and then the fans were on the back end of the church. But yeah, when I tell y'all, there was so many people there just for family, just from family. And I ain't talking about like, you go to funerals and you're like, oh, I'm a little 30-50 piece. No, I'm talking about like it was 100. It was probably 300-400 people. Man, even it probably was more than that. I ain't gonna even exaggerate. It probably was about 1,000 because I feel like that bottom portion of that church fit about 1,000 people, if not 500. But it was just a lot of people. And to know that he had that much influence just on family to show up for him, regardless if they come near and far, they were there for him. There was a lot of celebrities there, engineers, things of that nature. But just to know, like, he had purpose and he had life. And regardless of the tragedy of the way, they haven't really released how he passed, but just however he left this earth, I know that his purpose was fulfilled. And DC Young Fly got up there. Y'all got to go back and listen to it because I am about to paraphrase what he said, but he talked about being obedience. He's talking about being now, and he talked about asking the questions of why. He said sometimes when you ask questions, you either ask the question of why or what's the reason and the purpose for the things happening. And he said today we're going to ask what the purpose of us being here is because of the legacy and the life of him and what he impacted and what he left on this earth. And I got to thinking, like, okay, be obedient, because he also talked about being obedient. And obedience is one of the biggest things that I hold true to my heart. Because, child, I ain't got time to get up there on Judgment Day and the Lord go down the list of things that he told me to do and I want obedient to it. Now, I ain't got time, baby. He ain't going to never check that off of my list because I'm going to be obedient to any and everything that he told me to. It may take time for me to do it, but I am going to be obedient in doing it, right? And so he talked about that and talked about the time is now. Like, you got to start doing what you are purposed to do because we have a certain amount of time on this earth. And if it's not fulfilled and it's not complete, then there's going to be a hole left in this earth. And basically, Rich Homie did what he was purposed to do. If you think about it, if he was supposed to be a baseball player and he did that, the impact that he would have left on this earth would have not been what was shown. That family sent him off right. It was elegant. It was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell like they loved him. Him and his daddy was twins. When I tell you, you saw the relationship, you saw the love that all those family members had for him. Like it was truly, truly, truly just beautiful to see. Of course, the tragedy in him leaving, but the beauty in him also leaving and people coming together and how they're going to continue on his legacy and his name. I want that for myself. I want that for my kids. I want my kids to be saying like that was my mom. My mom did that. You know, my mom left this legacy. She did not leave this world being mean. She did not leave this world being having strife in her heart. She loved each and everybody on this earth. So that way that example that I set for them, that they set for their kids and their kids' kids and their kids' because this earth is going to be here well long that I am going to be here. So what is my purpose? And sometimes, you know, I talk about this all the time, but it has to be said, especially for moms. I feel like we are all called to do something outside of being a mama. And sometimes you have to have that rest. You also, you know, you have to have that rest in being able to think clearly to get that purpose fulfilled and to go through that. But, you know, we all have a purpose, even if it's to write a book, even if it's to do a cookbook, even if it's to start a podcast, even if it is to show people what you got in your closet, even if it is just sitting somewhere and praying on, you know, for somebody. Like whatever you are called to do, I feel like as a person you need to, you know, you need to get started and you need to do it. um and for me and how it affects me, especially during this time of year, even though this is just one of the most amazing times of the year, I hate the beginning of the year. I hate it. And I really don't celebrate my beginning of the year, January the 1st. I celebrate my new year on my birthday. My birthday is November the 6th. So it's coming around like my year is almost over. And it's like I look back and like, what have you accomplished? What have you done? You know, yes, I wrote my book. That was one of the biggest things because it took me almost 8 years to write this book. Um, I completed that. I launched, I'll be the launched my organization. You know, my career has changed over time. It's not where I want to be, but it is what it is. I can't let what I go through, my seasonal depression, what that looks like, things of that nature affect me. Now, going into it, I know I talked at least 30 minutes of the intro of all of this of what I've been trying to say, and I hope I wasn't babbling. I hope I haven't been babbling, but seasonal depression and what it looks like to me is going back to what my therapist said, and I'm very much triggered by dates. And the reasoning why my seasonal depression happens around this time, even though I love this time of the year, is because, um, like I said, this time of the year is very traumatic. I lost my marriage this time of the year. I lost a child in a very traumatic way this time of the year. Um, just a lot of things happened to me this time this time of the year. And so I kind of remember those things and it literally takes you into like a wormhole. Um, as I mentioned earlier, my friend saying, ain't this your time to be on sabbatical rest? It is. But now it's almost like I can't be on the sabbatical rest because I have to get to work. And so it's hard and it's a struggle for me right now. Um I had this vision when I said I was going to start this podcast and I'm going to release an episode every week, but life has been life, but not in the way that I've been too busy to do it. It's just that I don't have the drive to do it. And I'm being very transparent, very honest right now because some days I find myself like questioning even my existence into why I'm here. And the best thing that I know how is to sleep. And it's because I need to shut out the world. Um, from sleep, I don't see it, right? Um, or I put my main focus into something that is not beneficial or in line, in tune with whatever I do. My job that I am now, I love it. I love it tremendously. I think that I'm supposed to be in the seat that I'm supposed to be in, not because of the type of job it is, but because of the people that I interact with. Um, Sometimes my line of work, I come across people and they be on their last leg. And if you don't know, I can't really say what I am because they'll flag my account. But follow me on Instagram or even on follow me on IG or follow me on the Talk app, and you'll see a couple of videos in there. I'm wearing a shirt, and it tells you what I do. Um, but when I get those phone calls, and sometimes the families are in despair, they are they've been scammed, and they trying to get get their loved ones out. Um, I've had people crying, like I don't know what else to do. I have people, don't have the support. Oh man, that the biggest one hits me is they don't have the support. They don't have the family. They don't have the friends. And they could just be that went up there for something minor and they can't get out. Like, it's so sad sometimes. I've also been on the phone and had the three-way family members in, and the family is telling them, don't call me no more. Stop calling me. I'm not finna help you. And it's so sad. And I think, like, oh, I'm so thankful, child. Like, my people go to the ends of the earth for me, wherever I'm at. Lord, praise the Lord. But to know that I don't have anybody out here to call, that would stress me out. And, and for me, I'm just like, it makes me sad. And especially sometimes it's a lot of mamas that they are the only, they got kids and they up there. And they the only ones that they're the only ones that are like the or like the what am I trying to say? Or like the foundation of their family. And there's nobody else that can help them. And so, but I look at it as I put my main focus into that, and I'm not even putting my main focus into me. I talk about this a lot. Um, I make how am I gonna put this? I can generate my company a lot of money just by who I am. And people say, "Oh, it's easy." Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's literally I look at it almost as if it's like a sales type job. One particular month, I generated almost close to six figures in 1 month. In 1 month, I generated almost close to six figures. It was in the high 90s, 90K to be exact. Over a little bit over 90K in 1 month. Some months it's 32K, some months it's 60K. Whatever the case may be, I can generate that amount of money. That means that I've bought in that amount of money for the particular job. I know I'm very good at what I do. And this is talk about the seasonal depression. I'm very good at what I do. But sometimes you're not recognized, and it makes you not be motivated a lot. And that was a question that was asked: is she not motivated? And it's not the fact that I'm not motivated, it's the fact that you put me in a box and I can't soar. Like, you put me in a box and you close the box and you semi-taped it, and it's I don't know if you ever seen like a kid play in a box and they try to open it, or like we don't know what the inside of what it looks like from a box. But if you was to put a camera in, or you was to get in a box and you try to open it and you can see the tape but you can't really bust through it, and it's like it's given but there's some resistance. That's how I feel like I am. And I've always felt like that in a lot of places. And I get on myself as like, girl, you don't stay long in any place. But I feel like sometimes it's because and this is how it was explained to me, and I'm gonna be truthfully honest. The reason why I'm not in a lot of places in a long time is because I was only there for a season and a reason. It was never going to be a lifetime, because my lifetime is this. Um, you go, you learn the knowledge, you get the experience in those things, and then you get those relationships because you connect with people, your coworkers, your bosses, things of that nature. You connect, and that's how I look at it a lot. And everybody, I haven't left the place that I feel outside of my last job because there was an investigation going on with them. But even so, in still in that instance, I still have some connections there, but I've always built connections, and I've always kept in touch with a lot of people that I work with. And I look back when I started Rest Mama, and I thought like, okay, this is it. I went through my whole phone contact, and was like, okay, you know this person here, you know this person here, you got access to this person, you got access to this, you got access to this office, you know, at any point, you know, if you need to make a call here, you got access to that. You learned this at this place. You grew knowledgeable at this place. You learned a law, you know, what laws are in this place. You could better explain how people can navigate through this, that, and the third. Everything that you went through, you've literally learned at this place, right? But because I suffer and I go through this thing called seasonal depression, it gets to me. It gets to me so badly. It's like it's trying to stop me in the moment. And even in my position now, I'm like, if you could generate this for this company, why you can't generate this for yourself? What is it that stops you, Agatha, from doing this for yourself? Mind you, they not, I sit in a chair all day and I answer a phone. Yeah, I got training in what I'm supposed to do, but it was already training that I had from previous places, right? I generate this much. Why you can't do this for yourself? And so, and it becomes very heavy around this time because, you know, on this particular day I was told I was lazy. On this particular day I told I was not enough, or I felt like I was not enough. On this particular day I was told that I was ugly. On this particular day this happened to me. On this particular day I lost this person. On this particular day this, that, and the third. And that enemy comes in and, like I said, seeks to steal, kill, and destroy what I am set to do, and I'm on borrowed time. Like I have to be obedient and I'm on borrowed time. And so I push through that. Some days I can sit and cry all day. My kids sometimes don't have a clue if they're watching this. And I try to be open and very transparent with my children when it comes to me having emotions and not feeling well and just down and out and things of that nature. But I also don't want them to feel like I'm neglectful and things of that nature. But as a mom, I just have so much on my shoulders. Like I don't have two incomes. And even if I didn't have two incomes, I can't call outside of my family and friends. I can't call nobody to come over here and help me unstop a drain. I used to be able to when my dad was able to do it, but um, or I have a flat tire, or you know, something's broken in the house. Like right now, I need the fire alarms changed, and of course they're not going off now. They probably gonna beep in a minute, but I ain't got nobody to come over that I can trust to do that. You know, a lot of times too, if I did have somebody that asked to come over here, they ain't trying to, you know, get my clothes. They ain't trying to, you know, put they wee wee in my pee pee. Okay. It's just like the leaves change on a tree. That's how I feel like sometimes with me, and it's just very vast, and it not very vast. That's not the word. It's very fast, and I can't keep up. And so that's what it looks like a calm chaos. Seasonal depression does for me. It's very chaotic, but on the outside you would think like you're very calm. And so I take that into consideration when moving forward with what I have going on with my life. And I try to find solace in saying like there's purpose, there's reasoning, things of that nature of you doing these things. But you gotta push through. You got to push through. You're on borrowed time on this earth. You don't want to leave it, because if you do leave it and you have not been obedient and you have not done what you're supposed to do, you leave a hole. You leave a hole where it was supposed to be filled. And no one will be able to fill it outside of you. But you don't go on. So, you know, I kind of just wanted to touch bases on that. Like, what are we doing now? If you also suffer from seasonal depression, what are you doing to ensure that you push through and complete the task at hand, whether it's big or small? And I'm not saying everybody should go out here and, you know, start a company or start a business, because entrepreneurship definitely is very hard. I was an entrepreneur for a few years, and baby, the work is nonstop work, and I got burned out. That's why I went back to work. I went back to somebody's job. Like all I just need to do is just clock in, get a check, do what I'm supposed to do, and come home. But I've also learned that that's not really where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be doing what I did before. But how do you get over that? How do you overcome it? What books do you read? What do you do? As far as my biggest healing process, like I said, is journaling, and I write it in my journal or any piece of paper that I have. I use pen to paper too. I don't just necessarily use a notebook. I put pen to paper so that way I can process my thoughts the way that I need to do. Do you go running? Do you fast? Do you um take trips? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do to decompress your mind so you can get through that seasonal type of thing? And I just challenge you guys to kind of focus on that moving forward. It's the end of the year. A lot of us are probably looking at the goals that we set at the top of the year, looking at that vision board and saying, I ain't completed not a darn thing on this damn vision board. God dog. And you get that angst and you get that worry that nothing is complete. I always say, give yourself grace, but also say, what can I do now moving forward? Even if it's just something minor, like, on my vision board, I said, organize my house better. And I have yet to get there because I fell so far behind when my daddy got sick on just my home. Like my walls need painting and I really need to do my floors, do my floors. I really need to organize my closet and my garage is a mess. I can't even get into my garage now because just a lot of things of what we had going on, we just threw it in there because it just made it simple and quick. But now the shit is piling up, so what are you doing to not overwhelm yourself so you won't have to go through seasonal depression this year? I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen. But what are you doing to, get there? And, don't necessarily take a look at the things that you haven't completed. Take a look at the things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't completed that yet, but you know what? I'm gonna get to it. No, let me rephrase. Yes, I have this goal. What can I do to at least tackle a fourth of this goal? What can I do at least to tackle a half of this goal? Or if I can go ahead and complete it, like, okay, you've been slacking, you've been lacking. Now it's time to complete it. I don't want to push anxiety and fear and worry on anybody's heart, but I also want to tell you that you are on borrowed time, and it is time to be obedient in what you need to do, and don't allow certain circumstances to prevent you from doing those things. And I'm speaking to myself because of I know what's coming. It's crazy. A lot of people be like, I don't know why I'm in this phone. No, I know. I can tell you when Mercury was in Gatorade too. Like I was telling my friends, I'm going through perimenopause. One month I am a raging bull. I knock all this shit down, and then the next month I'm an emotional wreck. And this month I'm an emotional wreck. Like I just want to sit and cry and eat cake. That's all. But that doesn't allow me to complete or fulfill what I need to do, the task that I have at hand, and I just don't want it to continue to get piled up on me. And so I hope y'all got something out of it that I've talked about today. Hopefully you can sit down and write, what you want to do for this last quarter of the year. Um and, let's all get to it. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, all my social media pages. I'll tag them in the comment section below, but also here, restmama inc.org will be on the page. Go check the website out. If you go to the website, it links you to all our social media platforms. Be on the lookout for the launch date. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the event virtually because it is going to be an event, but I will let you guys know. You can tap in if you can't make the event. I will send out an invitation to those. It is a RSVP only. If you don't RSVP, you can't get in. Like I said, I'm the only one doing this. But um, yeah, also to mamas, like I said, make sure you join local communities in your area if you don't have anything. The Book of Faces always got a group going on in your area, y'all. Don't try to be out here and do life alone. You don't have to. We as humans, we were not meant to be on this earth and do life alone. When God created Adam, he also created Eve because he realized that what he gave Adam was not enough. He was rising talking to the animals, and God was like, I don't need you to have no schizophrenia in the land like that, whatever the case may be. I need you to get somebody like you can talk to every day. So I'm gonna create this person. I'm gonna put you to sleep, and I'm gonna create this person. And so we are not meant to do life alone. And so don't think that you have to do things alone. You have to walk out life alone. There is somebody that probably is going through the same thing that you're doing, is looking for someone like you. A little story. I had the opportunity to go to a concert. I was meeting somebody up there for something, and it ended up being a concert that I actually wanted to go to. And this person actually got me through my divorce through their music. And I was there by myself. And crazy thing is, it was a lady that follows me on IG, and she said, "What's your name?" And I told her, and she's like, "I follow you on IG." And I was like, "What's your name?" She told me, I was like, "Oh yes, oh my goodness." So we go back and forth in DMs and things of that nature. I like her stuff, she like my stuff, and to meet her, and we both out there by ourselves having a good old time. And there was a friendship formed. There was, we gonna hang out again. Like, you don't have to do life alone. Sometimes I do go out alone, and I end up meeting somebody that I'm connected to for the rest of my life. Mamas, y'all got this. And anybody else that's watching this is not a mama, pass it on to your mama friends, your auntie, cousin, auntie, them. Let them know about me and my organization. All right, y'all. You know that I love you, love you, love you, love you madly. We got this. Gonna get this uploaded so you guys can listen to it. I pray that I can get another episode uploaded very soon. Hopefully, my prayer is to shoot another one this week. But if not, y'all give me grace. I am production. I am everything, so I have to set up everything on my own. And till next time, guys, love you, mean it, make good choices, be a leader, don't be average, be savage. Remember, keep Christ first. Ladies, you're beautiful. Fellas, y'all got this. Don't let this seasonal depression get you down. Y'all push through. Let's fight through it. Let's close out the end of the year in success. Even if it's one thing that you said that you were going to complete, do it. Be obedient to it. You are on borrowed time. What you were purposed to do is for you, and no one else can feel that purpose. And yeah, the marathon continues. All right, love y'all. Mean it. Bye.